Going live. Yes. How do I invite people? Oh, share. Yeah.
Is it? Oh, you can share it. It's not like a Google Hangout.
All right, I'm just gonna. Actually, we are already live, but like I said, it's very oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, it's not perfect. Okay, but we're gonna do this. Right. Okay. And okay, so let's see. We have the links. Yes, I'm almost done. Okay. So this is how the format generally works. So what I could have used the OBS software that you saw the last time around anyway. Stream. The drawback is with purely OBS, we won't be able to see the chat. So with this, we're able to see the chat. And I think that's it.
Google Live.
Awesome. Hi Ryan, can you hear me? If you can, please say something in the chat. Type in the chat.
Person's name is Leen.
No, this is I get to reply.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the person you invited has the same name.
Whoever is watching the stream, could you please say something in chat to let us know that you're there? Okay, great. That's my brother. And I think Ryan is also live.
Right?
Ryan is the guy who had who popped up Telegram. Okay. So let me just make sure. Oh no. Make sure I get this right so we don't get disturbed. Okay. All right. So let me just do a quick intro, but since we're just testing this anyway. Okay. All right. Now Janet and Hillary, I'm not gonna address you because we're pretending. So I'll just introduce two of us. So I'm Leen for anyone. Everybody knows who I am because the viewers are all know I'm famous. This is Corrine.
Hi.
And Corrine does marketing.
Yeah, digital marketing also.
PPC Pro.
Yeah, media buys.
Yes.
Yeah.
And today, the idea is we want to get together, sit down, and talk about the interesting things in marketing. The reason being, there are a lot of podcasts and videos that talk about how to do things, a lot about how to do things. And I think that was really great for for me as I was learning about marketing, and I felt that it helped speed up my learning so much. I could read up to date blog posts, the latest content. But however, once you get past that, then the returns from all of this is very diminishing. You get to learn how to do like increasing minute things, really specialized things. Then I think what up to a certain point for further development as a marketer, I think you need to in fact take a step back and think in terms of principles. I think in terms of um, mm, high level stuff, not so much in the weeds or in details, right? So, oh, there you go. That's Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Hello.
So with that, we want to have this talk. The idea is we want to talk about interesting things happening in marketing. So it could be interesting ad campaigns, right? We already spoke about this very briefly, and we may also talk about individual experiences that we've had. Hopefully, that will take us further than just having a talk about very specific. How do I create and blah blah optimize campaign?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So to prepare for this, Corrine and I actually spoke about what it is that we can talk about.
Okay.
Uh,
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk a bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because just now you mentioned about going into detail, talk about like how to market, and for a while I was really drilling into the details, right? And I got so caught up in it, I felt a bit burnt out. And then stepping back, right, I took a break, and I realized that when we look at the numbers, the analytics, and all that, right, in the end, what we're trying to do, right, is all about serving people.
Yeah.
Is something that I realized. Yeah. So, giving people what they want, right? With the numbers, we can figure out what they want. And then if we give them what they want, right, the numbers will always go up.
Yes.
Like whatever analytics, conversions, click through, whatever. If we give them what they want, find out what they want, with the numbers, we find out what they want. And then we give it to them. The charts will always go up.
Yes. I think
it's as simple
true.
as that. Yeah.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, you've piqued the audience's interest clearly. Now, I can sense it. Yes, and so we should certainly give them more, especially with our prepared topics.
Okay.
Right? Both of us had to do our homework, prepare. But you reminded me that we need to have both need to say the things that you want to say. So you want to introduce what you have prepared to the audience?
Today I'm going to talk a bit about e-commerce. Drop shipping is a quite a trending kind of buzzword, like for I think like recent months. Yeah. Hashtag drop shipper. And if you go to YouTube or you go to Google and then you Google for the word drop shipping, you'll find a lot of how-to videos, a lot of 18-year-olds, 21-year-olds flashing their Lamborghinis from drop shipping. So at the end of last year, I went into drop shipping myself to find out what the buzz was about. Yeah. So.
Okay, and now where's your Lamborghini?
Yeah, where's my Lambo? Yeah. Anyway, I found out later that all their Lambos were rented.
What? Really?
Most of them. Yeah. So they
God! I actually didn't know that.
rented mansion, and then they rent the Lambo.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. So if I wanted to become a guru like them, I just need to rent a Lambo, rent a mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can all buy my e-course.
Only $9.99 today.
$9.99 now.
Yeah.
And then after midnight, it's gonna be 999.
Yeah. So hurry, and
Yeah.
sign up.
Yeah.
And there'll be a countdown timer on your landing page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are all the tactics. Yeah. That I'm gonna show you.
Well, so Corrine has actually shared with me about a little more, not the whole story yet. So it'll be new for me as well. She shared with me about how she discovered a very unexpected niche. You wouldn't think that you can sell things to people who live in the desert, but she will prove you wrong, or prove me wrong, and apparently that can make you a lot of money. But apparently also there's like all things in life, it is not forever, and I also didn't know that. Yeah, I know this makes it really interesting, but I'm gonna hand it back to you. Back to you now because I cannot tell the story. I'm not the one who did it.
Okay, I'll tell you how I started. So I discovered dropshipping, and then I went to try and find something that would interest me. So I was interested in plants at the time. But I didn't want to sell like gardening stuff because a lot of people were already selling gardening stuff. I went to Google Trends and then went to search like various type of plants, and there's this species of plants called succulents. So succulents, so cactus are part of succulents. So succulents are like thick plants that somebody was gonna ask about my Lambo. I'll get to that later. Yeah, I'll get to the Lambo later.
You were talking about succulents. Succulents much better.
Yeah. So on Google Trends, right, I could see that year after year,
Yeah.
The interest was spiking. So the interest in succulents was spiking like year after year after year. So that is actually a very good indication of a trend. Yeah. So if you go to Google Trends and you look for fidget spinner, for example, you'll see the trend is dying. Yeah. It's on its way down already. The peak was last year. So the chart you see it goes this way. But for succulents it was like this, like this, like this. Yeah, so that's.
But that means it's seasonal.
Positive sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be seasonal.
Yeah, because there was a stepwise.
Yeah. But that is a good uptick kind of.
Yes.
Trend.
Yes.
So I started a store and I curated a whole bunch of items with like succulent prints on it. For example, like tank top, like t-shirts, necklaces, bracelets, keychains. So I just loaded it up with like all these
Where
prints.
did you get them from?
Where?
Oh, it's so many. Tank top, keychain.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Earring.
Yeah.
Nose ring.
No.
Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah.
I think it'd be very prickly. If it's the nose ring, prick your nose. Very painful. Yeah.
Well, where did you get them?
I sourced them from AliExpress.
You just bought everything related to cactuses on AliExpress.
I didn't have to buy anything. So so the model of dropshipping is simply put, right? Somebody buys something from my store and then give me the person's address, right? Yeah. And then I go to I go to AliExpress, I make the order and I ship it direct to the customer. So I don't hold any stock.
Right.
Yeah. I don't hold any stock.
Obviously,
Yeah, so I don't hold any stock. And that was something that really attracted me to this business model because I didn't want to do any packing. I didn't want to do any shipping. Yeah.
But you just had to go and find all the succulent stuff.
Yeah.
Succulents. And put it on the website.
Yeah, on a e-commerce store. Yeah, and then I have to do the branding, create a logo. Yeah. And make it look like my own. And even the name itself, right, was already very attractive to people in that audience. I didn't know that such an audience existed. Next part of my story. I started testing, like selling some products, like cactus print products. I realized that most of the buyers, right, came from Arizona in the US.
Oh, when I hear Arizona, all I think of is that tea.
Oh
Arizona tea. You can find it. It's a really expensive tea. It's a floral, very nice, not too sweet.
Yeah.
It's like $2.50 or $3 the bottle.
That tea is not from Arizona.
No? Are
I
you
think
serious?
it's from China. Really, really. You have to look at, I think you look at the can it's from China.
做那
That's the funny thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's from Arizona at all. They just
maybe
named it
it
Arizona.
could be a branding thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's from Texas.
Yeah. Let's check. Yeah.
Okay.
In our next
No need.
episode, we'll tell you. We'll tell you whether the tea is from China.
Okay,
Or
I
from
see you're
Arizona.
you're planning very hard far ahead already. Good. I like this. Yeah, it's good. Okay.
I think got longevity. Yeah, put some hooks. Yeah. So I won't talk about the Lambo in this episode. Next episode, then I'll talk about the Lambo. Yeah.
Don't worry. I think Ryan has satisfied his curiosity already. Yeah. So I think everyone in our audience actually are entrepreneurs. They've all run their own business or in the process of running their own business. So everybody understands what you're talking about, and
Awesome.
of course it makes it extra interesting for them. I made sure that. So guys, every one of you I asked, I know that you're very interested or you're already running your own business. So that's why it's special. So even though it's like we are really just having a dry run of things, I felt that you would get something out of it. Yeah. And I like Corrine's amazing story, which you haven't finished yet. So I wanted to
What's next?
Oh, so then you got it. Then how did you market it?
Oh, how do I market it?
Yeah.
Purely Facebook ads.
See,
Yeah.
I'm a Google person. This is Facebook person.
Yeah, purely Facebook ads. I really love their interface, and it's so easy to understand the data. And Google is so powerful. But then when I use the ads, right, the Facebook ad editor, I'm like, wow, this is like, if only Google could make their interface like this. It just loads so fast. I can preview everything, and it's just so easy to do any kind of optimization that, it makes me want to spend money. Yeah.
Perfect.
Very bad. Very bad.
Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg very happy.
Yeah, very bad. Yeah.
So everything was done through Facebook. How do you make that decision even?
To market it via Facebook
Yeah.
ads. It was the most scalable option. So the other options were like using Instagram influencers.
Mhm.
So after a certain point, like I have to manually contact influencers one by one. Yeah. But then after a while, it becomes a lot of manual work, like contacting them one by one to create a post to do. I mean, initially, right, it was good money. The ROI is really, really good. Yeah. So among all the different kind of campaigns that I run, right, Instagram influencer campaigns are the most profitable.
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah. Please take down your notes. You want to buy a Lambo? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You want to rent a Lambo? Then you better write down, because renting a Lambo is not cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know of very big brands who just rely on Instagram influencers to grow their brand, like Daniel Wellington. That's one of them.
To watch.
Yeah. Herschel.
Bags.
Yes. Yeah.
Really?
That's how they started. Yes. Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it gives the highest ROI so far. Yeah. But the thing is, it's very difficult to scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There may not be enough influencers to scale beyond like the initial phase. Is that what you mean? Hold on a moment.
Yeah.
So everyone in chat, can I just make sure that this is okay? Can you type a comment to say if you can hear us perfectly? Is the audio okay? Too soft? Too loud? We're waiting for it's okay. All right, one.
I'm guessing we are on mute.
No. 笑的, yeah. All right, so I guess it's okay.
Video is a bit choppy.
I can't really help that if video is a bit choppy. Let me see if I have anything else to turn off. Okay, I have. Wait.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna.
See, I got some feedback. Massive spam campaigns from China against influencers.
Stop it. Sivan, send a text in the chat. I'm gonna turn off Discord for speed, and also my other IM like WhatsApp and Telegram. So this is what I'm doing. I'm shutting off some stuff to see if the performance improves. I've shut off. Okay, I've shut off everything that I can. The only thing left is the Chrome, which I don't want to shut off because I'm using it. All right. This is the best I can do to improve it. You should notice a little improvement. Could be a lot, it could be little. I'm not really sure. Shut off Wi-Fi. Oh, thanks. Saboteur. So, sorry, I forgot where we were at.
Running campaigns. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
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 So, how how do you decide on what kind of targeting to use?
For Facebook ads.
Yeah, I mean, you have you can input some interests. Then you type in cactus.
Yeah. It was just
like
broad,
that.
Yes, it was broad. Just cactus and then US, and then then from there right, I'll see, I'll kind of see like who made the purchase,
Right.
and within the purchases, right, I could see where they were coming from, and they were coming from Arizona.
And the website had the checkout page had the conversion tracking pixel from Facebook.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it was done that way.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I have their addresses because they give me
Oh,
their
yeah,
address for
of
ship.
course.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So I was wondering why people in Arizona were so crazy about cacti, and then I went to do some more research. Apparently, right, in Arizona, they have these like 10-year-old cactus plants in the wild that are endangered. So if you dig them up, you pick them up, you have to pay a fine or you have to go to jail. Yeah. So they are really, they really love their wildlife there, and the plants are really huge. The cacti plants can go up to 10 stories high.
What?
Yes.
No, really?
Yes, really, really. Yeah.
Oh my
You Google it.
I am learning
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. So I think that was why they're so passionate about that plant. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't expect that they would be so into it. But once you know that they're into it, then you can sell them these things. And was there can you tell us the average basket size? Like how much?
Average order value.
Yeah.
This was just like an experiment. So I put a really, really low retail price on that item that everybody wanted, which was this tank top. It was just like a regular kind of tank top, right, with cactus prints all over it.
Oh.
So when I first tested the price at like 19 USD,
Yeah.
19, and then people were buying it. So I slowly raised the price to 20, 21, 22.
Yeah.
And then when it got to maybe like 24, 25, I think there was a bit of friction.
Yeah.
So I reduced it back to maybe like 22, 23 US. Yeah. So that was actually the only thing, the one that had the most sales, the item that had the most sales. There were people who bought other things, but I didn't put in like proper upsell mechanisms.
Right.
I should have done that. That was one thing that I missed out. So one thing that they recommended was after checking out, you could do like upsells after they check out, so they could purchase more things, more cactus related things maybe. Yeah. But the general strategy for an e-commerce store is that at the first purchase, right, it's okay to break even.
Yeah.
Because you get their email address, right? So this bunch of people, they are passionate about about this niche.
Yeah.
And then after that, right, 1 week later you upsell this, you upsell that.
Right.
Yeah. And usually, right, when after the first couple of purchases, after they receive their product, right, they will post it on social media. And then when you have all these testimonials coming in, other people are more likely to purchase. Yeah. So it creates a
positive feedback loop.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
A lot of things, like, well, I can't even Yeah. What have I missed out?
Don't worry. Relax. You're doing great. You're doing great. I mean, I feel like I'm learning a lot. Like
Yeah.
personally, not just for like all my friends here are learning. Also, I'm finding it very interesting. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, from the moment you had the idea until you set up the shop, what was that time period? How long was that time period?
Oh, it was very fast. It was like less than 2 weeks.
Oof.
Yeah, it was less than 2 weeks. I got everything started. I got my first sale within a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, from starting. Yeah.
Wow. Nice job. That's wow.
But
But
where's my Lambo? So easy.
maybe
Yeah,
you didn't
it's-
visit the right Lambo shop.
Yeah.
You need to
So
visit the right one.
yeah, so the sales of that single product, right, it kind of tapered off. Yeah. So it will hit a certain saturation point. For me, that the amount of time it took to start selling and then scale up,
Mm-hmm.
and then for the interest to die down was 2
Mhm.
months for that single product. Yeah.
Right.
And then after that, I just took a break.
Mm.
But what I should have done was to do more stuff on the back end, like doing emails,
Mhm.
yeah, doing more posts on social media, getting people to share. Like for
Mm.
example, the initial people who bought this product, right?
Yeah.
Take pictures of themselves, post on social media, and then repost.
Yeah.
You know, to really show that this product is legit.
Mm.
It's like the quality is good, and then there are people
Yeah.
who buy it. Yeah. Getting the
That's a good idea. I guess it's like now with hindsight, you look back on it and you find that this is what your experience has taught you. The wisdom that you bought with all those posts all that time. Yes. Okay, guys, I want to invite you to ask any questions you may have. Because now we have her here, might as well take advantage of that. Let's see. Let's give him a moment for some. Oh. Okay, we got a question. Yeah, I think it's for you.
Right. You want to read the question?
Okay, so the question is: was the shop on Facebook or new? And I think you mean on some other platform.
Yeah. It was a brand new website. It was not on Facebook, so everything was set up from scratch. It was a new brand, new domain. Yeah.
And what service did you use?
I use Shopify. Shopify is the e-commerce. Correct. Use Shopify.
I think everybody there knows Shopify. So
Yeah. Okay.
you shouldn't worry.
Yeah,
Don't have
yeah,
to worry about that.
Yeah. Shopify, I think, is one of the fastest and most reliable ones out there.
I think so.
Yeah. Like right now.
I've received question about whether Shopify would work in China. I have no idea about that.
Oh yeah, I haven't tested it out.
Yeah. Did you do any A/B testing on the ads?
Yeah, correct. I did A/B testing on product images and copy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually for copy, right, I realized that the simpler it is, the better it is, like to drive sales.
Yeah.
Because in the end, right, when they look at the product image,
Yeah.
when they see something and they think, this is something that I want.
Yeah.
There's no you don't have to convince them any further.
Right.
Yeah. And then
Oh.
and then what really works is having a really good offer. Examples of really good offer could be like 50% off today.
Oh.
Yes. That's one example. Yeah. Another good example of really good offer, buy 2 get 1 free. Yeah. So this is how e-commerce stores like package deals to increase their average order value. Yeah.
I see. I know there are some Shopify plugins that give you this kind of flexibility. Like if your order, you exceed $100 in your basket, then they'll give you X discount. and if you don't hit that limit, then they don't apply a discount. And that, like, all this logic is actually very, very complicated. So they have like, you get the plugin, at the customization, the configuration page, there's actually a lot of options,
Yes.
because that can be very complex.
Mm.
Yeah, and I never got around to using that, but now that you mentioned, so I probably could have done better. So I used to run an e-commerce store for wine. Probably could have made more money if I had made use of that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So Shopify is kind of like WordPress,
Yeah.
where there are all these third-party people who create these plugins that you
Yeah.
can just add on, but most of them are paid.
Yeah.
But if it really helps you increase your average order value, and if it's not too expensive, like maybe like $5 a month, $9 a month, then it makes sense. If it makes things easier and you don't have to do any coding.
Yeah.
I had to do very, very little coding on the Shopify website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it. But you could also get access to the theme file. So if you wanted to put in some meta tags of your own, pixels here and there, you can totally do that on your own. No problem.
Yeah.
I really like that. So, you got a question?
Okay. When the items were shipped, so this I'm going to read out the question. When the items were shipped, did they have the AliExpress logo on the parcel? Were customers okay with that? Okay, so when they received the parcel, so I shipped some items to myself to see how it was packaged. The shipped from address is from China, but it doesn't have an AliExpress logo on it. So it's just from the supplier itself. And I made a request to the supplier. I told them that I'm a dropshipper. Please don't include any marketing materials in the package. So there's no way to really identify the package as the AliExpress package. Yeah, there were some people who were not happy that it came from China, and then so what we'll do is we'll give them a discount code for their next order.
What were they expecting? What were they expecting? Oh, my cactus must be made in a place with actual cactus.
I actually received like an email that said I was just to quote them a bit, I was a bit disappointed because I was under the impression that this is a shop that was based in the US, and so but my item came from China. Yeah, so she just indicated her disappointment, but she didn't say I'm gonna take you down or that kind of stuff. Yeah, but I mean, if they're not happy, then if they're not happy with the quality, then naturally they wouldn't purchase again. But
Right.
It wasn't like a really huge problem that it hindered the sales of the store.
I see. You were just doing the right thing by keeping your customers happy. The time that you related this experience to me, the thing that surprised me the most, and which you haven't gotten to yet, I think I'd like to take this opportunity to lead us into it, is they didn't the business orders didn't keep consistent. Eventually they tapered off. That surprised me because I totally didn't expect that. I thought they would just keep going on forever.
No, because it was driven by Facebook ads, and it is really dependent on like how much you spend on Facebook ads. And at the point of scaling, the peak of scaling, right, I was spending more than 10,000 a month on ads. Yeah. So yeah, correct.
Lamborghini money.
How could I bought one? Yeah. Not really.
Can pay the down payment.
Maybe I buy like a light or something.
One tire.
Yeah.
Can roll it around.
True.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Your Lamborghini will come. Your own personal
okay.
Lamborghini.
But lessons learned. Yeah. I
Lessons
got a lot of
learned.
things to share. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was not money that was lost. It was still profitable. I still made money off even though I was spending so much on Facebook ads. And Facebook ads, they were getting more and more expensive. They are getting more and more expensive. They will not go down.
Yeah, that's true.
So the overall strategy was to, in the beginning, you can spend the money to get that audience, which is to get that email.
Mm.
Build up your database,
Yeah.
and then work on, after you do that initially, right? Work on the back end to increase your average order value and not spend so much on Facebook ads anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So that was what I missed out on, which I should have done. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I feel like that. I feel the same way about my wine business. But we got a question about the buyer's demographics. Do you have
Age.
anything to share about that?
I actually did a broad targeting for these, purely female. Yeah, I only wanted to target females because I cannot sell anything to males.
Why not? Cactus underwear.
Who's gonna buy it? Are you gonna buy it? You buy it? I show the ad to you, then you buy. Nobody's going to buy.
Some men like strange things.
Oh yeah.
Have you not seen some of the? So anyway, everybody has adult. So I learned that gay men buy a lot of very colorful, very unusual underwear.
I did not know that.
Like it's a G-string at the back, but in the front it's different. Then,
I didn't really need to do that.
and then the colors and the designs are very outrageous. Yeah.
This is why I don't sell things to men because there is no way I would have even like discovered such a thing. And the thing about men, right? Okay, from my opinion, from a female marketer, right? Like females, they buy on impulse all the time. As a female, I do it.
Yes.
But males, they don't. If they see something they like, right, they will research. They will not buy on impulse. It's very, very rare. So they will go and look online or wherever and look for like the best option, like the fastest way they can get that item. Yeah. This is I mean, this is the kind of behavior that I see, this is why I would never sell to males. Yeah.
I see. I can't really. Unfortunately, personally, I don't really know about that. My own personal experience, selling wine online, there was no gender gap because a lot of it was for gifting, and for gift, men or women will happily give champagne, wine. It's fine. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I think I don't have any other questions about this. But let's give our audience a moment to see if they have any other questions coming up. If not, then I can begin telling my prepared topic.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to start with my prepared topic. You can ask any questions. I don't know what to expect, but we'll give it a try. And then you will play the role of the curious.
I'll ask questions.
Right, the curious party. So,
what have you prepared?
Yes. So it's about a book that I've read. It's called Salt, Sugar, and Fat: How the Processed Food Industry Hooked Us All. Actually, I don't have to type that out. The book title is very simple: Salt, Sugar, Fat. So I don't mean to share about the whole book. It's part history, part science, but a lot of stories about how food companies achieve the position they have today, where there's instant foods, processed food everywhere, catering to every taste, and making them billions of dollars, right? So it was. I have a couple of anecdotes. One is about salt, and one is about fats. Okay, let me think. So salt one is
whichever one comes to you first. Whichever story comes to you first.
okay. Um, so fat became a concern in the 1980s in the US. People wanted low fat everything because fat was seen as very harmful for health. You know, you get fat, you get heart disease, and so uh, food companies reacted to that by producing low fat versions of everything. You have low fat milk, low fat yogurt, um, low fat, a lot of stuff. Um, and what we observe is that yeah, a lot of people bought into it. A lot of people's sales went through the roof. They were very successful. Um, Now, why that is interesting? Oh yeah, it's because prior to that, um, for decades straight, like basically post-war until 80s, there was increasing amounts of fat, increasing amounts of salt being put into easy to prepare foods. So it's mainly coming from the United States because everybody was working and moms were joining the workforce in greater numbers than before, and they have to prepare food for the family as well. So they needed simple things they pop in the oven, pop in the microwave, and get out very quickly. And uh, as a consequence, these companies competed really hard to win the dollar of these moms who had to prepare food. And what they wanted convenience. They wanted to put good food in front of their families, and they wanted the family to eat it. And what the food companies found was that, well, we need to make it really fast. We need to make it convenient, but we also have to make it delicious. Um, like good example of this would be marketing to children. Like children are sent off to school with lunches, and you got to give. If the children don't eat the food, parents of course won't really want to buy it. So the food companies added more and more salt, more and more fat. A little more fat in this, like here a cream, or there a fattier piece of meat, and then that would hook the children. And I learned that the human body, we're very good at, like if we eat normal food, we feel full, we feel satisfied. At some point, we're like, enough is enough. If we eat fried chicken, it's so fatty, but after a while, we like, enough. Can't take it. Your throat feels oily. But the same thing doesn't happen if you're drinking your fat and sugar. If you're drinking your fat and sugar, your body doesn't react. You never drink a whole lot of like, super sweet Coke and feel like I'm very full, or I feel like I've had too much to eat. That feeling totally doesn't come. It's as if calories in liquid form, that's fatty, with lots of condensed milk or something, bypasses our body's warning system. And so the food companies use that to their advantage, and then pile on all this fat and sugar and salt. And then people got fat, and then the people went all the way all the other way around, and decided I don't want it. And then they started producing low fat versions, and people also bought that. So one way or the other, the food companies were benefiting, and that continued pretty much until today. Then what surprised me the most was two things on that. So first, as a consumer, as a person, a person living and working in society, I thought, wow, it sounds very horrible. These companies are the worst. Then in one of the interviews, one of the food company CEOs said, you know what? We want our customers to live long life and be healthy. And we do, in fact, produce a lot of healthy products. Like, just look this way. Over here is all the healthy foods. But you know what?
Nobody's buying.
Nobody's buying. Everybody wants to buy the tasty thing. And then I realized that. As a marketer, I thought, oh, that's so true.
It is true.
Like, oh, yeah, you can have all these beneficial things and the carrots and your fresh vegetable, but nobody want to eat it. How? Is it whose fault is it? Then I had a different. I saw the book kind of differently. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's true. I mean, there are people doing their job, and then you can empathize why, you know. And I use an extreme example here. If you're a marketer in a tobacco company, you can feel the same way about it. Like, I'm selling this to adults, and adults are making their own decision about it. They want to do it. They say it, calms their nerves, or helps them concentrate or control their food intake. So, I mean, all kinds of justifications. But there is a point for food. Coming back to food momentarily, there is a point when it's like, should I be forcing people to eat healthier? Or they should be able to make their own choice, and that becomes very unclear.
Mm.
Then one last anecdote on that. So Kraft, the big company that does all the cheese products, I believe late 90s or early 2000s, they had a crisis of conscience. They actually did. Like, after decades and decades of public pressure about with consumer groups advocating for healthier food, they committed to it. They, or at least as far as we know, they committed to it. They committed to reduce salt, reduce fat, reduce sugar in many of their product lines, probably all the product lines. And some of them were like the biggest sellers. So when they said that we'll reformulate the biggest sellers, they take it very seriously, because they're not just doing like token ones that nobody buys, like small products. So they did that. They set like limits, caps on how much you can have in the formula. And if you can't meet that, then you have to bring in other things, And what did they find? They lost market share
Wow.
to their competitors.
Wow. Like significant market share.
Well, in that business, single-digit percentage is big deal already.
Mm.
So they were very, very upset about it. They really wanted to make it work, and they couldn't. And the most impressive thing about this particular anecdote is that Kraft decided to go it alone. So they had spoken to the Food and Drug Administration in US, saying that we want to lower the salt, sugar, and fat content of our foods. And we're telling you, but we'll do it with or without you. Are you going to set some rules about this? And like, food FDA is like, because they're mostly very friendly to the food companies. Like, why don't you go ahead then? So they did it, and then they lost market share, and then very quickly they flipped back and like, okay, fine, give up, we're not doing this shit anymore. It's too crazy.
Right.
And through that experience, we saw that the food industry, together with us, together with the regulators, are in a bad situation. Consumers will not push the companies, and the government will not push the companies, and the companies are afraid of losing consumers. So everybody's locked into a situation where the unhealthy food is made, and we're eating it, and there's nothing that can be done, apparently. Yeah, so that's the anecdote I want to share, but it's it's not a positive message, but it's a reflection of the world, and I feel like it is important
to be aware.
Yeah.
Like to be being conscious.
Yeah. To be aware, because now I remember something else I want to add on, like to complete the picture. It's not that the food companies want to ruin our health, and it's not that they're evil. It's that they're run by people,
and they just want to cater to the masses. Just want to give people what they want.
Yeah.
And the people, they just want a lot of salt and sugar and fat.
And people want to eat what they want to eat. Yeah.
Okay. Did the book address anything about like biological responses to salt, sugar, and fat?
Yes.
Yeah.
So apparently, babies innately. That's a really good question, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
because
babies.
I was gonna talk about that actually.
Yeah. What were you gonna say about it?
I was gonna say that like physically, right?
Yeah.
Our brains reward us when we eat sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that it's just biological.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't help it.
Yeah.
So, there's no real way to overcome that because it's like genetically programmed. But there are certain like ways that we consume it that make it worsen the problem. So if you have sweet drinks, for instance, then our bodies don't feel as much. If you have like a lot of fruits or you eat a lot of rice or noodles or bread, you actually feel very full. Yeah. But with drinks, you can go and go and go, and you really won't feel it. And you still add on all this calories still count, though. So therefore, it's bad for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But apparently, salt is not something babies respond to.
Okay.
So salt craving is conditioned.
Nurtured, yeah.
Yeah, we are conditioned to want salt. So you can actually turn it off if you want. Like if you went, apparently the magic number is like 10 days. If you go 10 days with like super low salt levels, your body will adapt to it. After that, you don't really like salt anymore. It's like, oh, this is too salty, and you don't want it. Yeah.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
Worth a try.
You can try. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was my story.
So what do you guys think about this stories?
The audience?
Yeah.
Let's see what the audience says. If they have any comments. I don't even know if anybody's still there.
How much they put us on mute already?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, when I start telling stories, it's possible that
so bad. Okay, at least someone responded. I'm still gonna eat what I want to eat.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that was all the prepared stuff. Oh, okay. Me too. Well, that was all the prepared stuff that we had. The purpose for us to do this, as we already said, is to give this a dry run, to try it out, see what it's like for us as well as for you. Can you tell us a little more, like which one that you prefer? Be honest. You don't have to be. Just don't have to favor either one of us just because you know us better. Right. Or what did you, if there was anything that you liked in particular, or you felt,
yeah,
you can type it out. And might give that a minute. Yeah. Well, what did you think?
I don't know. I'm not the audience. I would say
we've gone on for
awesome,
close to an
I would say it's excellent.
Oh. Clearly.
Wait until I show you the Lambo.
Copy the JPEG, send it to everyone.
Yeah. Put a photo here.
Oh, Ryan's terrible liar. Terrible liar. We've gone close to almost an hour. I'm surprised it didn't feel that long.
Yeah. It's good.
Is it too long?
Yeah, is it too long? Is it too draggy?
I was thinking that 30 minutes would be a hard limit. Like, really have to cut off at 30. If we had some intro, then we went your sharing. I think that took us past maybe 35, 40 minutes.
Also, you were tracking the time as we were speaking.
I think that was just my instinct about that. I'm not sure. Maybe you'll see it later.
A bit long.
Yeah. I actually think 30 minutes would be a hard limit. 20 would be about right. That's my hunch anyway. Okay, in that case, should we call it a day?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
For being our guinea pig audience.
Oh.
Got
one last question. Yes.
How long before you decided to stop selling the cacti products? I had the store open for only like 5 months. Yeah. I had the store open only for 5 months before I went to take a break and then, kind of like study more about dropshipping, how I could make it work. Because at that time I was spending so much on advertising. Yeah. So maybe like 5 months. 5 months.
Okay. And okay. Jesus, thanks. All right. I think we're gonna call it a day. Oh, sorry. Forgot. Ryan has a question.
Do you answer this question?
Sorry, Ryan. Do you mean materials for the dropshipping business, or you mean materials for this uh, session? Oh, in that case, then for me, I read a book which I already read, and so I just wrote down. So it's very fast.
Yeah, I didn't prepare anything. Everything was from the back of my head.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because it was purely from experience that I'm sharing this. So I didn't really prepare anything.
Yeah. This is a dry run. The
Yeah.
next one will the idea. So I'll just share a little bit about the concept. The idea is that when we have this kind of talk, we'll be doing things like, we'll have a, a flyer, maybe some ad banners, maybe photos you've taken of like bus advertisements, and say, hey, look at this. This one's really well done.
Mm.
And then we'll talk about it and say like, why is it well done? Why will it? Why is it successful, or why is it not successful?
Mm.
Why is it good here in this market? Why is it bad in this market? And give like a marketer's take.
So at the core of it is marketing. Around that's the center. That's
Yeah.
the core of it.
The
We can
core
talk,
of this talk,
Yeah.
this conversation
Yeah.
that we're gonna have. Because that gives us opportunity to think about things that we see, and then to discuss them and have an audience join in. Yeah.
Mm.
Does that answer the question? I think that answers the question.
This was on the screen.
Okay, we're really gonna call it to an end now. I think we really shouldn't hit an hour. Pushing it really close.
Yeah.
So with that, thanks everybody for listening in.
Thank you.
It's really awesome to have everyone here. Okay, thanks. Bye.